Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and we got the Monday market report for the week ending September 26, 2021. If you guys are checking this out Sunday evening, hopefully you guys had a fantastic weekend. And for those of you checking it out on Monday morning, as I would expect a lot of you would, thank you again for watching, and hopefully you guys have a really easy upcoming work week, whatever you guys do. But in today's Monday market report, as we normally do, we research some of the most relevant graded post-1900 modern coins to have hit the market here last week. And we have great collections. We have a number of brand new Sunset collection. They're at part number 158, by the way, if you're keeping track. And they have a number of really great selections that they've added to the auction listings this week. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a few of those, in addition to a few Lava Skylight Collection consignment pieces that entered the market this last week, and a few of them have sold here tonight. We're also going to take a look at those. They a couple of really brilliant stunners. But all in all, we're going to take a look at which coins are selling, which ones are hot. In addition, we're also going to explore the coins that are best suited for what we call the registry set. Registry set participants normally aim for the highest grade examples of each respective date. They register it online through PCGS or NGC's website into a documented registry. And the registry, really, you pick your series, you collect and buy up all of the finest specimens of those coins. Now, there are some registry sets that don't really tailor to a full top pop graded collection, but there are low balls, and then there's some that's right in the middle. I guess whatever your flavor and your desire is, you could do that on there. It's really more for bragging rights, but as you can see, the bidding can get pretty competitive over the course of the auction setting. And normally some of these high top pop, just high graded specimens reach some pretty astronomical prices. We have a number of them today, no big surprise. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Before we do, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my video and my channel if you like and enjoy today's content, but please do hit the dislike button if you don't. That's really it. Hit the button for instant notification, that little bell icon that you see under the video. You know what it is. It hasn't changed in the last decade for sure. So let's go ahead and jump right in, ladies and gentlemen. We got the first one here. 1955S Lincoln Wheat Cent. This one, no doubt about it, is a registry set coin because of the stats on that label. It's a PCGS graded mint state 67 plus full red example. I mean, it's a stunner, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it is a high minted coin, and there are very few examples that survived in like mint state 67 and up. So it is in a pretty elite company the way it is. It's also CAC certified. It's got that little CAC sticker that's right on the holder as well. And this is our first coin, by the way, coming from the Sunset Collection, number 158. This particular example sold for $2,475. Again, there's a number of these incredibly high minted type of dates that you'll find in not only Lincoln sets, but a lot of other denominations. They're fun to try and hit that top pop grade, but at the same time, I wouldn't invest a lot of money or, I wouldn't invest in these coins. I'm not going to say invest a lot of money, because the registry set people that these are tailored to will spend all the money in the world. But if you're looking for an investment, the registry set coins, I would say, are probably my least favorite to spec on. So $2,475 is a really big amount of money for this coin. But, the registry set participants that do look for these are growing by each and every single month. So there you go. First one up. The next one that we have here, no big secret, another registry set coin, a very beautiful 1950D Lincoln Wheat Cent, and this one grades out PCGS Mint State 67 Plus, full red example. What I like most about this coin, the luster, because of how clean the fields are, gives this one an incredibly velvety, smooth appearance, okay? And when we're talking about 1950s Lincolns, a lot of them are really well struck, all right? The Philadelphia examples, probably not so much, but Denver's and San Francisco's, it's really hard to find anything wrong with these coins. Again, I wouldn't invest in something like this. This one is just a bomb, and it did sell for $4,162.50. A beautiful coin, and great for a registry set that will no doubt earn a lot of points to add this to their set. Now we're getting more into what I would consider to be kind of like safe spec coins. 1931D is a somewhat tougher date. I mean, it's not a 31S, but this one right here is a Mint State 66 red in an old green holder, so you can just tell from the actual slab label sitting right there. It's got some pretty remarkable looking, what I call like very light woody toning to it. I'm willing to bet this thing looks absolutely marvelous in hand. But again, this is a coin that appeals to certain types of individuals. That your purist collector probably wouldn't go for anything like this. There are people that, that really don't care for tone coins. And that's fine, because there's a whole different group of other people that do care about it. This one sold for $3,137.62 today. Now, if you're really looking for something to really sink your teeth into, especially if you're a date collector of Lincoln cents, it is one of the, if not the top most well-collected series in U.S. coinage. This is probably on your list, but sometimes trying to find an example that is, pretty decent, that not completely beat up, with quite a bit of details, can be quite a challenge. All right. A lot of people have pulled their hair out trying to locate an example of the 1922 no D, or what they call plain Lincoln Wheat Cent, to no avail. And this one right here is about as middle of the pack as you could get. PCGS VF30. This is probably one that was cherry picked a long time ago, or maybe found in a wheat cent bag. This is what they call the strong reverse. These coins with the missing D mint mark. By the way, they're all produced in Denver. All right, none are produced in Philadelphia. But there were 4 different die sets that were used to produce this particular variety of coin. And the strong reverse type is always the most popular because it does exhibit, really strong design details. If not on the obverse, then on the reverse. This one is also CAC certed as well, and this one will set you back $1,035, which is what this one sold for. So if you're looking for just a decent market acceptable example, expect to pay around $1,000 for a VF, or very fine type of grade. Now here's what an example of a 1922 D. This is with an actual physical D mint mark on there. I mean, there's really not a lot that's wrong with this coin. The strike is second to none. On a date that otherwise you just don't see a very strong strike. When you're able to see a lot of the beard detail on Abraham Lincoln, I mean, that says a lot. And I love this grade. PCGS Mint State 65 full red is just an absolutely a marvelous type of grade, without getting too crazy. But the coin in itself is very clean. Okay, there's not a whole lot that I would say is distracting about it that would dissuade a lot of collectors. This one right here sold for $3,263.62. This is kind of like my cherry of the week. I love this coin. And the last penny type coin of the week is going to be this 1914S, a somewhat very tough date. And we're beginning to see more desirability of what I like to call like the mid-pack of coins, as far as high-graded fare out there. This one, as you can tell, looks quite pedestrian compared to some of the other ones that we've seen in the prior weeks. This one is a PCGS graded Mint State 64 red-brown. I mean, some people, it's not quite their cup of tea. because they prefer the full reds, which during the teens, especially Denver and San Francisco examples, are very scarce. All right. It's not like that you could just waltz right into a coin shop and expect to see a large inventory of full red teens and 20s Lincolns. They just really did not exist in those kind of quantities. And because of that, coins like this are being targeted for not only for collections, but investments and possibly even just kind of like a mid-tier type of registry set as well. This one sold for $2,306.25. I think this coin has probably jumped up about 50% just in the last 2 years based off of the current trend of the buyers that exist out there for these coins. Now we're on to nickels, and boy, I'm telling you guys what, if you're looking to cherry pick coins and sometimes people will have you kind of like targeting a specific type of coin. Proof nickels of the 50s can be a little bit tough to find, and guess what? Cameo, right? Any cameo frosted devices type of coin, there are few and far between. Now, 1959 is what I consider to be more of the readily available dates of proof sets and individual coins in the marketplace today. And if you're able to find one with like out of mid packaging toning that looks like this, I mean, this is like midnight blue. The clock had struck 12, and then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, got that blue moon happening. This is a stunner. Guess what? No ultra cameo, no deep cameo, no regular cameo at all. It's just a regular proof nickel with good color on it on both sides. It's a proof 68 through NGC, and this is also the first coin on the list that is from the Lava Skylight collection. Just a absolutely eye-appealing coin. I'm willing to bet this coin in hand, if you're shining in a light, is just stunning. And it's sold for $1,182.60. Again, proving that you don't have to look for the ultra rare cameo coins of the state, or a mid-state, or a proof 69 or a proof 70. Some color provides a lot of personality, and toning market today is quite robust. So you might as well take advantage of it. These are going to be a lot easier to source out, and the desirability is always going to be there. Now, here's a very tough date for full steps nickels. Okay, anything during the 50s is very, very difficult. This is a 54D. It's a mid-state 66. It's a 5FS, which denotes 5 full steps on there. Not a categorically fantastic looking coin. A lot of the 1950s nickels lack a lot of that luster, something that kind of ties it to being like freshly minted, as you're seeing it. But this is a coin, again, that is highly desired in the Jefferson nickel registry, and when something like this comes along, people tend to take notice. This one sold for $1,093.50. While not incredibly like high-end 54D, when someone has to settle for a specific coin and grade, they'll look for things like this. And again, this is kind of like that secondary tier of graded coins that people are beginning to target. Whereas 2 years ago, this used to be like a $500 to a $750 coin. Now all of a sudden we're seeing these jump up over $1,000. And here's the 51. Again, another statistically tough date to find full steps. This one right here is a mid-state 66 plus full stepper. It's also got a little bit of gunmetal spotty toning on here, which it's something that you see during the 50s. And this one right here had oxidized a little bit over time, and it's developed this really nice dark gunmetal toning to it. Which, again, it's a love it or hate it type of affair when it comes to coins. But it's really, in reality, the grade that puts this one kind of like a cut above the rest. And because of that, it sold for $2,556. Now, we figure we're going to show a toner in the Jefferson Nickel series. And sure enough, we sure did. 1940D. This one looks like your strong candidate of a coin that came out of a Jefferson Nickel album at one point. I've purchased a few full Dansko albums of Jefferson Nichols, and a lot of them look like this. So this might have been an old Dansko coin at one point. But check out that grade, man. That is outstanding. Mint State 67 plus, full steps. It's a coin and a date that is not particularly rare to find with full steps. I will say that. This is actually one of the more common dates to find full steps types. This one right here is also a Sunset Collection piece for the week, and it sold for $2,392.88. Now, this is a nickel right here, ladies and gentlemen, that is easy to cherry pick. All right, what do we know about 1938 Buffalo nickels? Okay, number one, they were only produced at the Denver Mint. Okay, there was never any Philadelphia examples made. There was no San Francisco nickels made. But a lot of these coins, because of the announcement of the upcoming Jefferson nickel releasing the same year as this outgoing nickel, people hoarded these. People hoarded 38D Buffalo nickels in large quantities, and a lot of the times they were hoarded at that mid-state level, like straight out of the bank, straight from the Fed Reserve Bank, straight from the mint. These coins were pretty fresh. Now, the pretty cool redeeming part about this particular date of coin is that there were a number of cool varieties. Okay, D over D repunched mint marks. There was a few variants of that. And of course, the coin that you see here is a D over S. So this particular nickel was a completely different date or what have you. Or perhaps they had, I think more realistically, the San Francisco Mint had transported working reverse dies to the Denver Mint that had an S mint mark already. And they punched a Denver Mint over that S. So you still have remnants of an actual letter S. You have like the inner curl. You have the top serif that are very, very pronounced on this coin. This is a good one to cherry pick. If you were going to go to a coin shop or a coin show looking for this type of coin, you can easily do that. A lot of 38Ds are available in the secondary market raw, especially in mint-state condition. Now, this is kind of like one of the more extreme type of coins that could realize a lot of money. Okay, it's a mid-state 68 through NGC, and it sold for $5,062.50. That's a heck of a payday for this coin that is available out there raw. Here's a 26D, one of your just really tough dates. This one is also a toner. It's a nice, pleasing mid-state 66. It's just a peach, and for a high-end Buffalo nickel collection or a registry set, I mean, you can go no wrong. I think I'm more of a fan of the toning on the reverse. I just like the color pattern on there. But again, a beautiful coin right here, sold for $7,087.50. We do have a few dimes today. Believe it or not, we have a Roosevelt, and this one is full of character with the original toned skin on there that I think is just, it's important for a Roosevelt dime because it's not an entirely popular series to begin with. But this one right here, PCGS, Mint State 67, with full split bands. These have the full bands on the torch, on the reverse. The toning is a little bit darker than my tastes allow. Yeah, I like them a little bit lighter, or blast white if possible. But because of how original this coin is, there were a few bidders that were kind of butting heads to own it. And this one is also a Sunset Collection piece, sold for $1,299.38. Now, people are targeting what is considered to be kind of like the lost, forgotten dates of Mercury dimes. Now, when I mean that in the nicest way. These are typically dates that kind of fall in the middle of being extremely common and kind of threading that needle into rarity, all right? And those are typically anything like 1930s, early 30s, 31, 1930, with mint marks. This particular one is a 34P, which falls under that category of just like an obscure coin that, unless you were actively searching for a mint-state example or you cherry pick one, normally we wouldn't think about this date. I mean, it's not even a full split bands example, which says a lot. Okay, it does have a little bit of toning on the obverse. It's a 68 through PCGS, which indicates just the overall cleanliness of the fields. The design is free of nicks and anything distracting thereof. Beautiful coin, and this one sold for $1,329.75. Again, another direction to cherry pick if you're not interested in like finding like the super ultra key full split bands, crazy dates that command 5 figures. This is one that you could really sink your teeth in. Halloween, pun intended, I guess. But these are very, very more approachable out there for collectors and, of those types. Now, the quarters will kind of blow your mind here. We had a number of supreme high-graded examples of 1970s and 1980s quarters. We're only going to talk about a few of them, but if you wanted to check out the website, greatcollections.com, they do have all the other ones that I had highlighted. How about a 38D? This is one of your tougher dates to find, considering that the U.S. Mint never produced or coughed up a mint set in 1983. So that makes these quite tough to find in mint state condition. You're going to have to resort to BU rolls, and good luck with that. Those things are expensive, among a few other things. Now, this one here is a mint state 67. It's in a PCGS 30th anniversary old green holder. So this was something that they had made available a few years back as kind of like a throwback appearance or look to the label. This one right here is sold for $1,015.93, but it doesn't stop there. We also have an 82p. This one will blow your mind. NGC Mint State 68. It's got some of the original kind of like yellowish toning on there, which is commonplace for copper nickel clad quarters or any other copper nickel clad composition coin, maybe a $50 or a Roosevelt dime. But this one right here is wholly intended for a registry set with that kind of grade. And this one realized $3,487.56. A 1980p, again, along the same kind of bucket of other weird, funny 70s and 80s coins that showed up on Great Collections this week. Another Mint State 68. These were all, I would say, cherry-picked by the same individuals that were looking for spice. Like, they were cherry-picking these coins to grade and make money. And I think the overall mission was a success. Mint State 68, and this one sold for $2,306.38. Again, these coins were made to just really wow the collective audience, especially for the registry set people that actually cared about these. These coins don't come up in the marketplace that often. Now here's a 1940D. It's a Mint State 67 Plus, and it's also got a star designation, which is more of the eye appeal thing for NGC than anything else. It's also CAC certified. It's a beautiful coin. You can't really say any more about something that looks like this. It's high grade. It's got color. This will appeal to a very niche amount of collectors and investors. And probably registry set, I would assume. This is another coin from the Lava Skylight collection that was consigned through Great Collections, and it sold for $2,026.12. Now, the next coin we're going to talk about is something that's more for me. Like, I really love these coins, and I love it when I see things like this come up. It's about as honest and wholesome of a coin that you will find in the marketplace today. It's an obsolete type, which simply means it's an old design that that has been popularized alongside the Walking Liberty design and the Mercury dime and a few others. But this is just a basic, what I would consider at the time, a very common date 1930 Standing Liberty quarter, but the grade is extraordinary. It's a PCGS Mint State 67 full head example. Lots of luster. It's got that original skin, kind of like the, just years of light oxidation. There's no toning on it. This is about as much of a peach as you'll find in the marketplace. And, you know, for a 67 full head, and full head details, you have a full, like, kind of like ear hole and hair detail. And, you know, the back curl of the hair is very distinct. I mean, for a 67, you'd figure this one would sell for a lot more money. But, I mean, this is not nothing. This is a great looking coin that realized $3,768.75. There's just no, you know, mistaking just a very beautiful early type piece. And this one is certainly again, you've heard me say it, cut above the rest. I prefer things like this than a flashy, you know, full steps or nickel or something that's toned to death. I don't know. I'm more along the line of this right here because these are coins that will stand a test of time, that they'll age gracefully, they'll always be worth this kind of money, and you never know, they'll probably end up appreciating in value. You know, I would assume like in 10, 20 years, this coin will be worth at least 10% more, so there is that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, all good things must come to an end, and that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and by the way, if you haven't checked it out, I recently done an interview with Matt Castor Mage, MTG. And I talked about me starting in the coin hobby. I also talked about other different types of collectibles. We also talked a little bit about magic, which is where his channel is geared toward. But you'll probably end up seeing the link pop up here on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Go ahead and check it out. It's a long video. It's like 45 minutes long, but you get to see your boy Blue on there as well. And yeah, we're just talking it up with one of the up-and-coming content creators. I am available for interviews if you guys have you know, a channel and you wanted to have a chat and just kind of like talk about, you know, what we do on our channel and how we got started with YouTube. I would be more than happy to take inquiries. So go ahead and send me an email if you'd like. The email is actually down in the description box. Just scroll all the way down there. But that's going to go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you, you know, take a liking to the content today. Hit the dislike button if you don't. All right. You know, whatever you do on the video will certainly help a great deal in the algorithms. But Coinaholics, that's going to go ahead and do it. We are discovering together each and every single day. I want to thank you guys for your support, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.